I've moved to Argentina and this is where I live now with my 2 dogs and a pony. Right, why am I in Argentina? If you are a subscriber or if you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you might already know that I moved out of London at the end of January. And since I moved out of my house, I started house sitting around the UK. But then my boyfriend Sam got permission to work remotely and we found a house sit in Argentina. And so here we are for 3 full months. We're starting in Mendoza and then we're gonna be going to Buenos Aires and a few other places. As soon as we're done with the house tour, I'm gonna take you into Mendoza so you can see the city. Normally I start in the city, but here I just couldn't resist. You had to meet the pony and the dogs. So this is the outdoor bit. We've got a huge fire pit. This is a swing. Over here, there is a grill. A traditional parrilla or asado. We haven't actually used it yet. We are running out of time. I know that seems like such a shame, but the parrilla restaurants here are a little gym, which I have actually been making use of, which I'm really proud of. Bedroom, I think it's quite messy, but whatever. Yep, I wasn't lying. It is definitely messy. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on how nice it is. I should point out this is all my mess. Sam, me. Sam, yep. This is the kitchen. Again, all mess is mine. Poor Sam. If you've ever been to Argentina, you'll definitely recognize these yerba mate mugs. This is such a cool area. You can actually use that fire pit. So you just put in firewood, you light it, it's very well ventilated. You can open up all these giant sliding doors. And my favorite part of the living space is this projector over here. It goes onto this wall. We've recently started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm because we finished Seinfeld, and right now this place is a lot more bougie than our first apartment in Mendoza. It was perfect in terms of location though. It was right on the main avenue, Avenida de San Martin, and we got to explore a lot of downtown Mendoza, and that's where I'm gonna go now. Thank you. Oh, so heavy. This is our super long driveway. Okay. Bye. Oh, that's so sad. The area we're staying in right now is called Chacras de Coria, and it's south of the city center, quite far south. It's suburbia. Look how beautiful some of the houses are, by the way, including the one we're staying in. And one thing that I wanted to point out is we're in the southern hemisphere, so obviously it's summer in Europe right now, but as you can tell from my attire and the beautiful colorful leaves, it's autumn here. We're like coming up to winter. And this area is really lovely, quite affluent. There are a lot of like mid-range to luxury restaurants. Personally, I'm more of a street food kind of gal, but I have been enjoying it. And this here is the central square of our whole area. So I'm gonna sit down on a bench and I'm gonna order a Cabify, and then we're just gonna wait for someone to accept the ride. And here in Argentina, or the Cabify app anyway, they show you the driver's name and then whether they've accepted or not, which personally I find soul crushing. It hurts my feelings. He said no, didn't he? Oh, oh, he said yes. Okay, he'll be here in 1 minute, but I've just remembered my favorite building in this part of town is on the square. There it is. It's got a llama on it. I think that's a llama. Now I'm probably late and Walter's gonna hate me. Hola, muchísimas gracias. Buen día. Que tenga un buen día. Gracias. Hasta luego. Welcome to the center of Mendoza. This is Plaza Independencia, Independence Square, and it's beautiful. It's got all these fountains. Whenever they have big festivals here in Mendoza, they usually take place here. And we're actually here for one, 25 de Mayo, which is not Argentinian independence, but sort of. Let me show you around, and we're gonna go grab a tea or a coffee from my favorite coffee place. We got great timing because I hope you can hear that over me talking. That's part of your world, The Little Mermaid, and they're doing a fountain show. Look, there's a rainbow. Well, not anymore. That was really cute. We are now walking down this beautiful street toward Plaza San Martin. We are going to a coffee place called El Triciclo, the tricycle. And Sam and I have been going there every morning while we were staying in central Mendoza. I think they're here. Tengo 2 días más.
Ay,
y después Buenos Aires.
¿Y cuánto estuviste acá en Mendoza?
3 semanas.
Bastante.
Total, sí.
¿Y te gustó?
Sí, mucho.
Es muy lindo
mucho,
Mendoza.
Es lindo.
A mí dentro de Argentina me gusta Mendoza.
¿Sí?
Me gusta
¿Estás
mucho.
de Mendoza?
Yo soy mendocina.
Okay. Yo estoy haciendo un video sobre...
¡Qué lindo!
Sí, sobre Mendoza.
Te quiero.
¿Sí? Hola. Gracias. If you ever come to Mendoza, you definitely need to try out their coffee. They are on Plaza San Martin. That's where we are right now. And they're just so nice. They make these. These are called media lunas. And they're kind of like croissants, but they're sweeter. And they're a very traditional thing to have here in Argentina for breakfast. Okay, this is very exciting. On my way to get my coffee every morning, I would walk past this building, but I never went inside. It's an art gallery, free admission. and there's no one here, and it's really beautiful. So let me absorb the art, and then I'm gonna show you a bit. Whenever you're vlogging, you're like focused on this and not on the outside world. So 5 minutes. Very, 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 very scary. Oh no, here's the scariest one yet. That one there reads, "For you, my defeat." Not the most optimistic take on love, but hey, we've all been there. So we're headed to where my Airbnb used to be, and right next to it is where you kind of semi-illegally exchange money. I'm going to talk more about this in another video, but basically Argentina is experiencing incredibly high inflation rates, which is horrible for the people that live here. The best way to approach that is to bring in foreign currency and exchange it here. It's got the money. One thing I really love about Mendoza, and I hope it's true of Argentina in general, is the music. They love rock here. They're always like live bands playing. This one's really good. I've seen them before. Next stop is the Mercado Central, the central market. I have a mission. There's one thing I want to buy, and I'm hoping they have it. I found the thing, so we're gonna go buy it. Por favor, quiero tablet mendocino. Los grandes. Dos. It was so cute because she asked me where I was from, and I said de Londres, from London, which is not technically true, but like that's where I lived until January, whatever. So that's just my go-to answer. And then she gives me this huge smile. She loved that answer and goes, "Bonjour." I'm so sad I didn't get that on camera because that was one of my favorite moments in Argentina so far because it was so kind and it was so pure. Like, I really, really like that lady. And just so nice. Anyway, while I recover from this interaction, let me talk you through my favorite moments in Argentina, in Mendoza so far. I'll start with the outdoorsy stuff. If you want to do an easy hike, try going up Cerro de la Gloria for beautiful views in Mendoza. But if you want a real challenge, then you can climb to nearly 7,000 feet at Cerro Arco and Cerro Cateado, but only do this one if you're trained. It's pretty full on. Or you can also do a horse trek in the foothills of the Andes. I booked this as a surprise date for Sam, and it was so much fun. And there are also the Cachota hot springs just outside of Mendoza, but they are super crowded, so be warned. You should definitely visit the south of Mendoza as well, hire a bike, and go have a leisurely lunch at one of the local wineries, which are renowned for producing the best Malbec in the world. We went to a place called Bodega Gieco. I also went on a guided winery tour at Palmery Winery. I don't know much about wine, but have now decided to dedicate these 3 months in Argentina to finding out more, and it has been fun. If you eat meat, obviously Argentinian steak is incredible, so go to a parrilla or asado restaurant, and don't forget to enjoy the local culture as well. Argentina has some really talented painters and writers. This here is Emiliano Guñazú Provincial Museum of Fine Art, and definitely explore the squares in central Mendoza. Plaza España is my favorite. So that has been my life for the past 3 weeks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It has been glorious, but I do want to reiterate that this is attainable. Like, we both have full-time jobs. We're working during the day. We are very privileged to have strong passports and jobs that give us flexibility to travel. Sam normally isn't allowed to travel as much as me. He's not self-employed, so his employer is based in London, and for tax reasons, Sam has to be in the UK for most of the year. But he did get these 3 months to travel and work remotely, which, the most important thing to mention is that we've arrived at our next destination. This is Parque General San Martin. I really hope that I'm doing the part justice with this video because it's so nice. There's people running and cycling. In fact, it's not really a brag because I'm sure a lot of you have run a lot further, but this is the furthest I've ever done. I think it was 12 kilometers. I know it's 12 kilometers. I'm getting a bit peckish, so I have treated myself to this giant juice. Just mango and water, nothing else. Is really, really nice. And I'm gonna sit here for the next 20 minutes. I'm gonna watch an episode of The Office. I don't know, that's like my favorite comfort thing to do when I'm traveling solo. So that's what we're gonna do. And then I think I might head back to Chacras, my area where I'm staying. And if any of you are Office fans, I would like to mention that I'm watching this for about the 5th time. It just gets better. So my Cabify is gonna be here in like 1 minute, and I'm having a little emotional moment. I have really, really enjoyed Mendoza. Everyone's been so friendly, so warm. Like, you met my friends at the coffee show. Oh, that's my driver. Okay, sincere moment over. Hola, Mauricio. Muchas gracias.
¿Y les ha gustado?
Mucho.
¿Sí?
Es perfecto, es muy, muy bonito. Y es mi primera viaje en Argentina.
Ah, mira.
Entonces,
¿Y dónde van ahora? ¿Cuál es el próximo lugar?
Buenos Aires. Y sí, claro.
Ahí es más loco.
Sí, es loco.
Sí, mucho lío. Acá tengo una recomendación un lugar que se llama El Gallego.
Yo creo que las milanesas están la favorita comida de Messi.
Sí. So Mauricio has just dropped me off. What an incredibly nice man. And now we need to wait for Sam to let me in. Hello! Can barely squeeze through. Hello, doggies! Cute, cute. I love a local recommendation, so obviously I listened to Mauricio's advice and took Sam to El Gallego for our final dinner in Mendoza. First, they gave us bread with cream cheese, which is a really classic Argentinian starter, and we even got a bottle of wine because I am taking my viticulture studies very seriously. So this wasn't my favorite Malbec, but it was pretty good. And then they brought out the food. They served these giant milanesas that you share between several people. And let me just tell you, this was called the individual portion, and 2 hungry adults were not enough to make a dent. This is how much food we had left over at the end, and I promise you, we both tried really hard, meat sweats and all, but it was a really great end to our 3 weeks in Mendoza so far. Now we are off to Buenos Aires for our house sit, so stay tuned for that video, which should be coming out soon. Thank you for watching.